Hi, I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm the host of Best of Us Investors. Have gotten very active on Twitter because Twitter gives me I guess a pulse of the market. And today, Benjamin Schlagbaum, CPA, asked the question. I follow Benjamin. And his question is, what's the stock you have the most conviction for the next 20 years? Well, being a long-term investor, I thought that was a good question. And immediately I responded, looking back, over the last 20 years, the biggest change was the digital economy. Looking forward, the biggest change I think is going to be healthcare. And following the money, I'll go with Google and Apple, but they will be dwarfed by companies in the biotech field. That was my response. Then what I thought was interesting is to look at the response that he got in answers. And again, I thought what that would do is give me, again, a pulse on the market. And so that's what this video is about today, and in my research as to who were the largest growing stocks in the past 20 years. And the word conviction is different than the largest growing, but I had to look that way. And then I looked at the last 10 years because I think it's a good question. Rather than trying to play the short game and what stocks do you have the most conviction in over the next 6 months is kind of a trap. Because you don't know what's going to happen over the next 6 months, just like 1 month ago, we didn't know that could be on the brink of World War III, and it is having a drastic effect on the market. If you go back 2 years ago, would that be around? You didn't know the coronavirus was going to come. So to make a short-term prediction, to play the short-term game, is really a fool's game because you're playing against variables that you have no idea what's going to happen. So let's explore this a little bit further and thank Benjamin. And if you're on Twitter, go find Benjamin. Again, he spells his last name Schlagbaum. And Jack will put up a picture here of his tweet, so it'll make it a little easier for you to find him. But we'll get right to this after I share with you. This is not financial advice.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Grinkmeyer.
Okay, so what are the companies you have the greatest conviction in for the next 20 years? As I said, Google and Apple are the stocks that I own. And again, it's because I believe they're going to be knee-deep into the healthcare revolution. I think they're going to be knee-deep into the artificial intelligence revolution. And they have the money, they have the talent, they have the experience. So you've got to bet on them because they are the horses that have finished best in the last 20 years. At least that's what I would have thought. I was wrong. So let me show you this. What I did was research what are the best performing stocks over the last 20 years, and then what are the best performing stocks over the last 10 years. And here's what I found. The best performing stock over the last 20 years was Monster Beverages. That Monster drink that gives you a sugar high and a caffeine high. And then Tractor Supply. Monster was a 875X. Tractor Supply, a 475X. Old Dominion, a railroad line, 113. Holly Frontier, that's an oil driller, 118, and Altera, I'm really upset about that one. That's a cigarette company. Yeah, I think it used to be Philip Morris. So then I came forward and said, okay, let's look on a 10-year perspective, what stocks. And I am sure that there are some little small penny stocks that have outperformed Netflix. But my Invesco search came up with Netflix at a 49x, Amazon at a 22x, Apple at 8.5, United Healthcare Group is 8.1, and Boeing 7.2. That's interesting. Okay, so then I went through his responses, and these are the companies that the general public basically said they had the most confidence in. And again, Apple, Google, Berkshire, Nvidia, Disney, Home Depot, the world's going to change. We got the Metaverse coming, and I don't think, unless Disney gets a very strong place in the Metaverse, I don't think so. Home Depot's a home improvement store. I mean, but it tells me a lot about what the pulse of the investment public is. Beam, that's a biotherapy company, biotech therapy, or genome therapy company. Tesla, of course. Amazon, Old Dominion came back up. Target and Walmart. Unilever and McDonald's. No. These may do okay, and you may have confidence in them, but these aren't going to be the world changes in 20 years. We don't know with the Metaverse if we will want to shop at Walmart and Target and eat at McDonald's. Again, the world is changing. McDonald's is, I buy a sandwich at McDonald's, but I know it's not good for me. The health food is going to step in there. But I thought this was a very interesting look at what people feel is going to change the world. Then I went and wanted to bring back to you a chart that I did on Amazon. And it really it changes the picture of Amazon's performance if you go back and go into the period of time right after the dot-com bubble, which is kind of where I think we are relative to the health cure stocks. When Amazon dropped in 2020 from 90 some dollars a share to $5 a share, and now is up at 3,000. That's a 600x. So I think, and I think if you had been asked in 2020, what is your confidence level on Amazon.com, you would probably say 0. I have no confidence in it whatsoever. It is a company that has yet to make any money. Yes, Amazon did not show a profit for its first 14 years, and that takes it back to 1999, which means it probably didn't show its first profits until somewhere around 2013. That lines up exactly with where I want to invest in those companies that are kind of downtrodden right now, biotech, and that's my Editas and my CRISPR and my Intella and my Pacific Biosciences, because I think, again, if you put your head on what's happened, what's changed over the last 20 years, that takes you back to 2000 or thereabouts. And that's the digital revolution. And to think that McDonald's and Walmart and even Amazon and Google are going to be the real growth leaders of the next 20 years is to be wearing blinders. It truly is. I like to use a a phrase that I've heard, I'm not sure where I heard it, is we have less technology in our world today than we ever will in the future. In other words, technology is going to improve exponentially over the next 20 years as a result of artificial intelligence. And again, if you don't understand artificial intelligence, 20 years ago, intelligence was what I had in my head, okay, and what you had in your head. Artificial intelligence is now what we all have in our heads collectively, because we have, over the last 20 years, shared our data, our knowledge, our experiences through the internet, and it's been collected by people like Apple and Amazon and Facebook and Microsoft, and then NVIDIA has developed the chips and some other people, Qualcomm, that can take all that intelligence and put it in one brain, a quantum computer, and it offers us the intelligence of the world, all in one capsule. So if we can do that, I think the best example I have heard of it is if you put artificial intelligence in the cockpit of a fighter jet and then put them up against every other fighter jet in the world with a human being, that one fighter jet will knock out every other one because it has the intelligence of all of them combined. So that's the world we're going into. So when you ask me, what is the company that I have the most confidence in over the next 20 years? I don't know them yet. I know they're not making a profit yet. So that's where I want to put my limited intelligence, and then I want to ask you to combine your intelligence with my intelligence and join my tribe, bestofusinvestors.com, and let's put our intelligence together to make good investment decisions. I think that's just a no-brainer, as long as we're talking about intelligence, and I'm inviting you to be a part of it. I'm going to share the knowledge of the best gurus in investing, because I'm going to go buy their information, and then I'm going to make it available to you so that you can then give your intelligence back to me along with my intelligence and the gurus. Maybe we can win at this game. Maybe we can figure out, as Benjamin asked us, what's the stock you have the most conviction in for the next 20 years? Benjamin, I don't know their name yet, but as soon as I do, I'll let you know. Talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks, Benjamin.